Our Almighty God, Creator of heaven and earth, Father and lover of our soul, you sit on your throne of mercy and rule with your love and faithfulness. You are full of grace. We acknowledge your presence in our lives. Nothing is hidden in your eyes, even our challenges and struggles in life. We come to you with faith. We ask not only for our daily spiritual bread, but to seek your forgiveness and undeserving favor to heal our land, our family members, our friends and neighbors, even our enemies with COVID-19 and other diseases. Holy Spirit, help us to deepen our faith and see the opportunity to believe, obey, and worship. As we face this pandemic, you are Lord and God. Encourage us and change our hearts, not to fear, but to be full of hope and find ourselves praying and meditating your word. We believe no works of the enemy prosper to your children. Abba Father, we believe that your Son Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. He is the truth and our salvation. Hear our prayers, O Lord, and most of all, not our will, but thy will be done. We pray this in Jesus' name, the name above all names, who was and is to come. Amen.
The views and opinions of the producers, hosts, and guests in the show do not directly reflect the official stand and policies of the management, the network, and the company.
Growing your business, achieving prosperity, and gaining happiness is what Feng Shui Magic is all about. Join us as our Feng Shui Master gives you guidance only here on Big Media Network.
Hello! Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat and greetings to all the wonderful followers from around the globe. Welcome to our 6th episode of our captivating program, Feng Shui Magic. If you are seeking valuable insights and practical tips on how to cultivate joy, abundance, and harmony in your life, then you've come to the right place. This show is tailored just for you. Throughout the enlightening journey, we will guide you towards deepening your connection to your body, mind, and spirit, allowing you to unlock the wisdom within yourself. So, we are thrilled to be back with even more surprises, an abundance of wisdom to share, and a vibrant community of Feng Shui enthusiasts. Once again, I am delighted to be your host, Darleen Turda, your Dragon Angel Guide, accompanying you on this exciting new season of Feng Shui Magic. Get ready to embark on a transformative adventure as we explore the profound principles of Feng Shui and harness its magic to create a life of harmony, prosperity, spiritual fulfillment. Let's begin this incredible journey together. Okay, so just a few tips for everyone. As today is July 21, Friday, you have lucky animal signs for this week. For today is rat, tiger, rabbit, monkey, and rooster. So who needs to be extra careful lang? Ox and dog. So kasama pala ako doon. Anyways, I'm a dog sa Chinese sign. And of course, some lucky activities are you have can do sacrifices, stove installation, you can grow plants, buy livestock or pets, and adopting. What do you avoid will be the funeral, break ground for tombs, grand opening, bed installation, set up a monument. And for tomorrow, the lucky activities or the auspicious days for pray for good luck, praying for pregnancy, consecration ceremony, grand opening, and you can do your haircut. And you have to avoid for tomorrow doing scheduling your wedding or travel funeral, and coffining, residence relocation, and stove installation, and coming out of age ceremony. But on Sunday, your auspicious activities will be for sacrifice and coffining, break ground for tomb and funeral. So that's our tip. And of course, again, I'd like to welcome you all to the sixth night of the Feng Shui Magic. This show has expanded now of range of topics that delve into the metaphysical principle of the cosmic trinity. So prepare to embark on a transformative journey as we explore spirituality, life ways, wellness, health, and profound healing potential of Feng Shui. From deepening your spiritual connection to embracing holistic well being, Feng Shui Magic promises to provide invaluable insights that can positively impact our lives. So join us as we come together to nurture our minds, our bodies, our spirits, and the earth through the transformative wisdom of Feng Shui. Welcome to Feng Shui Magic, where we unlock the secrets to living a harmonious and fulfilling life. And for tonight, the title of our show is Spiritual Warriorship with Kung Fu. Oh, first time nyo lang marinig yan, that this spiritual warriorship, sabi nga, di ba? Well, have you noticed kasi that people with training in martial arts, medyo may firm, unwavering presence sila, di ba? So if you're also an enthusiast in Kung Fu, well, join us as we talk about Kung Fu and why it's one of the best ways to cultivate your good energy this Friday. Our goal actually is to bring you the wholeness and fullness of life by imparting new, simple, and practical application of Feng Shui. So we go to our logo. Vincent, you know that Feng Shui is for all. Again, Feng Shui is for all. Yes. And since our goal is wholeness and fullness, we combine our intentions with our actions. So we now say spirit plus action equals to prosperity. Yes, the spirit with action definitely will result to prosperity. Again, we'd like to greet everyone who is watching, new followers of the Feng Shui Magic and V89 Radio, OFWs around the globe, Feng Shui followers, Reiki practitioners, hello, light workers, and business owners. We invite you to communicate and participate in learning during this show. So you can use your chat box to let us know your questions or comments about our topic. Do you know that you can win pala a chance to get a free personalized Feng Shui? Yes, please do send us a message in our FB page or in this any in your YouTube. Yeah. That you want to have a personalized Feng Shui with your full name and birthday. And if you win, we will feature you and your home and the feng shui adjustments that we had to enhance prosperity and harmony in your life. So tignan natin if effective nga ba feng shui sa'yo. Pero definitely, I know that it will. So, messages now, your name, your full name, and your birthday if you want to be a part of and you want to have a change in your life. So, what are you waiting for? Do that. Also, if you have missed na mga live shows namin, alam mo, pang-anin na namin to. So, YouTube has it all. Tignan niyo yung mga previous episode namin. Tignan yung mga topics namin like Know Your Life through Batsy, Stepping into Your Best Self with Human Design, Cure with Acupuncture, at Kapalaran sa Astrolohiya, and of course, our mid-year review. Baka meron kayong mapulot na mga lessons or learnings na gusto nyo malaman. So, syempre, hindi lang ako dito mag-isa. I cannot talk the whole day, the whole 2 hours. So, I'd like to welcome tonight's show wouldn't be complete without our co-Feng Shui activator. So, please welcome Sky Oracle Paui.
Hi, Teacher Darleen.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, everyone. So, thank you for tuning in once again in our show, Feng Shui Magic. I am your co host, Paui, the Sky Oracle. guiding you with the high frequencies from above. Uy, nagustuhan ko yung mga shows natin ng banggit mo, you know your life through Batsy, human design, acupuncture, astrolohiya, lahat yan gusto ko. Mga
Sobra.
tools yan eh.
Yeah.
Nakakatulong yan sa atin.
And walang ibang show na that will be discussed, that has discussed the same way that we did, 'di ba? So better go into the YouTube and other titles. Marami kayong matututunan, I'm sure.
Very flexible yung show natin, no? Although all of them are applicable rin sa Feng Shui kasi yung energy naman talaga is about to harness, no? Making the most of the energy in our surroundings is also within. So,
Yeah.
kamustahin kita, Teacher Dar? Alam ko may ganap ka this week, ah.
Nakita mo na ba kung paano ko magsalita? Well, is turo yan ng Toastmasters. So I have joined Toastmasters. And
I
to,
like.
yun nga, I'd like to enhance din kasi the way I communicate. Mukhang lifestyle na tong ginagawa natin na to. So,
Oo, oo. And
at
I
alam mo
like,
ba, go
mhm.
ahead.
I like the way you talk na, Teacher Dar, yung mga expression mo lately, very alive and very catchy. So, what were you
Well,
saying po?
actually, alam mo ba to, ginawa ko rin ito. My first live, as in actually live talk was held nung kahapon lang ba yun? Yeah, it was
Oh.
on Wednesday, yeah. I represented the therapy service for the special needs children sa 45th National Disability Rehabilitation and Prevention Week with the core topic on celebrating uniqueness. So, we have the therapy center kasi usually therapy centers for special needs children are speech therapy,
Mm-hmm.
occupational therapy, SPED tutorial, mga ganyan. And of course, with our number of children, we already have around 170. And you know that it's tripling. Before the pandemic, medyo konti pa silang lumalabas. Pero after, like, like, like this year, it
Mm-hmm.
tripled. Grabe, ang dami
Oo.
nila.
Kasi back to normal na, no? So,
Hmm.
people are really finding ways, no? Lahat ng
Yes.
resources para mag-improve yung
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. And maraming nabulaga, maraming parents na nabulagan, oops, meron pala ang anak ko. Or, why are we special needs family? Or, anak ko lang ba? O, pati ba kami? Ganyan ang
Mm.
mga questions nila.
Nakakabulaga talaga yung teacher Dar kasi syempre, it's not easy for the parent to suddenly have a different situation that is ideal for them.
True.
So, di ba, parang mahirap iharapin. So
Mm-mm.
it would take a lot of process para ma-unravel yung kanilang need para i-approach yung need ay yung yung solution. So may kilala nga ako many in my circle, Teacher Dar, na they treat their children na may dumadating na daw sa point na nagiging harsh na kasi the usual or normal way of disciplining their children is not the same. So, little they did know na after ma-diagnose ADHD pala or ganyan. So, hindi naman sa disadvantage pero para masolusyonan. Kasi nga, 'di ba, there are different talents, there are different gifts, and we all have different purpose para sa mundo. So, sa totoo lang kung mapapansin mo if you would meet some of the people who are like that, they are very gifted. They're very talented. Sana lang yung mga parents talaga sakyan, no? Or innovate their way of discipline, innovate of their way of teaching. Kaya, I'm so happy na meron kang center for that.
Acceptance, Pawi ang number one. And of course, laging na nagsisimula sa yung ano yung inner guidance mo, yung laging ganon. So it's really a journey for the family of special needs families that going through this, it's not really an obstacle, but a challenge. It's not also a challenge because that's why I put it out there, create celebrating uniqueness. Disability is not a limitation, but it's a way of looking at it in different perspective, like that being differently able because
Mm.
they are truly gifted.
Mm. Mukhang magandang topic yun for next week,
Next time.
ah.
Pwede.
let's
Oo.
let's plan on it. And do you know what other
Mm.
special occasions for this day?
Ay, what else? Oh, ano ba meron?
Actually, ngayon dineclare that Neil Armstrong becomes the first person to step on the moon at 2:56 a.m.
Uy,
Diba?
wow
Very
ha.
significant data, a
Yes,
milestone for everyone.
that's true. At alam mo ba, may mga trivia ako kay, kay Neil Armstrong din.
Oh.
Maliban sa sa yung, kasi before, syempre marami pa siyang training, was the American, naging, ano to, aeronautical engineer siya, pa pala,
Mhm.
before siya nag-walk into the moon. And he was also a naval aviator, a test pilot, and a university professor. At sa mga readings ko, mahilig din siya sa music.
Ang dami yung talagang pagdadaanan before ma-achieve
Yes.
yung dreams, no? But
Mm-mm.
every, kumbaga every journey, every step is very important for sure para kay
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
So other important dates today pala is Islamic New Year. O,
Oh,
diba?
Happy New Year po!
At saka
Ating
nung
mga
July
kapatid sa Islam.
16, Global Hug Your Kids Day. So kung di mo pa na-hug yung
Ayan.
anak nyo, lalo na yung yung iniiwasan, they need it just as much.
Yes. Every day is a global hug your kids day. Do not forget that. Your energy or the warmth of your body gives parang ano sa kanila relief of anxiety and stress. Ganun yun.
Alright, so recap ko yung last episode. Last week, we had Coach Johnson Chua of Feng Shui Sunrise, who talked to us about Batsi or Batsu, or Four Pillars of Destiny. This is a century-old system that has been used by Chinese astrologers. Dati ginagamit siya para sa gera, sabi nga ni Coach Johnson. Kasi that's the way of their success, no? And knowing their enemies. But nowadays, as modern times time na tayo, nagagamit pa rin siya to know your how to live or how to uh, should I say, manipulate your destiny, no? To be in charge of your destiny. So,
Yes.
tinitignan yung mga elements, yung yin and yang, and
Mm-hmm.
other factors na ikagaganda na, or ika-improve ng ating buhay. So, ang ganda ng episode na yun. I really recommend that you guys go back to our history and check out that channel with Coach Johnson about Batsy. Ayan. So, right now, ang ating topic naman ngayon is still exciting, spiritual warriorship with Kung Fu. And let us now remember our primary slogan, sa ikauunlad ng bayan.
Feng Shui ang kailangan.
Alright. So, about
So,
Kung Fu. Yan. And
yes. Oo. And before we continue,
let's have a break muna.
We will be
see you.
back shortly. This is Feng Shui Magic, only here on Big Media Network.
It's a tough business out there. So many uncertainties, operational difficulties, deadlines. We provide the solutions and services that your company needs at the best price, guaranteed, with our global principles. and experienced partners, we bring solutions to your current and future business. Inolution, supporting your business as always. Video meetings are the future of collaboration. Meetings are like people. No two are ever the same. Logitech provides better meetings where everyone can be seen and heard because great meetings just don't happen. Logitech, with our partner Inolution, ensures your video collaboration is at the next level. Inolution, supporting your business as always. To serve you sooner, email us at support@inolution.com.ph.
Are you having a hard time monitoring your workers' performance? Do you have times where you feel you need to help your employees? Voiso offers a real-time dashboard where you can monitor their calls in real time, like putting their calls in whisper mode, which lets you talk to your employee to give them assistance without their clients knowing it.
Hey Mark, tell him that the subject matter expert will take it from here.
Inolution, supporting your business as always.
Now back to Feng Shui Magic, only here on Big Media Network.
Welcome back, everyone and all, in our episode 6, Spiritual Warriorship with Kung Fu. Kamusta na, Paui? Ano nang gagawin natin?
Ayan. So, explain ko what is Kung Fu. Kung Fu is a martial art, both a form of exercise with a spiritual dimension stemming from concentration and self-discipline, and a primarily armed mode of personal combat. Often equated with karate or taekwondo, the term is made up of two characters. The first, kung, can mean skillfully work, hard training, or endeavor. The second, fu, means time spent. Together they mean time spent at skillful work, endeavor, or hard training. I myself was a student of Taekwondo and Capoeira. I am very, very interested in learning more of this ancient form of martial art, Kung Fu, which is we have invited a special guest, a Sifu, Master Gath Yulet.
Yes, Master Gath Hewlett is the teacher known affectionately by many as Sensei or Sifu Gath. He has been teaching martial arts for many years. He took over the running of his sensei's Jiwi Jitsu Doho or the Purple Dragon. In the late 1990s, o ganun na katagal ha, he took a team to Australia and nag-compete sila in the Australian Open Championships in 2000. And you know what? Alam mo, Pawi, his team, yung dalawa niyang members ng team niya brought back 2 medals. Tapos, nirepresent nila
Oh,
yon sa British, they represent the British Virgin Islands. O, di ba? Ang
nice.
galing.
What
In
an
the
honor.
Sobra. In the event since then, si Fugat has founded his own style na. Nag-develop na siya ng own style niya. It's God's Christian Kung Fu Academy, and he seeks to promote an understanding of both Western and Eastern approaches to martial arts. Akala ko Eastern lang siya. Pero I remember, di ba, yung Karate Kid, so may Western din pala.
Mm-mm,
So,
mm-mm.
yun. He's also a student at the Taoist temple in China. So, yung at talagang to really understand what is the knowledge and for his own personal growth. He is a Qigong teacher. Stress trauma relief facilitator trained from Capacitar International. Also, an Anpenman laser therapist and an accountant by profession. Hindi ko alam kung paano nag-apply yung accountant sa karate. Pero varied and welcome. We'd like to welcome our guest, Sifu Gath Hewlett.
Good night,
Darlene, you also.
everyone.
Hello, good afternoon. You also have to mention that Sir Sifugat is also the better half of our beloved teacher Isa, as usual.
Yes. Yes. Seafood God, of course, always with us, by in spirit, lagging with in our prayers, di ba?
Yes. I don't know if better half, but other half.
The
Oh
other
yeah, the
half.
other half. Sorry,
I think
I
she's
got
the better
corrected.
half.
There's a category. How are you, Sir Gas? How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thanks for asking, Darlene, and nice to be with you also, Paui. So
Thank you.
happy to be here and ready to share any kind of knowledge that I have about Kung Fu so that you can learn a little bit more about
Yes.
what this means to me and, the world.
Yes, teacher. Yes, Sifu Gas. Kung Fu is not new here in the Philippines, but they do. Some do not know that there's internal meaning for Kung Fu. So, can you share about what really is Kung Fu, Sir Gas, and what type of Kung Fu do you practice?
Well, answering the first question, what really is Kung Fu? Kung Fu
Mm-mm.
is uh, a number of things, but mainly it takes the form of it is a martial art, so it takes the form of the fighting arts.
Mhm.
So it is something that one can practice to learn self-defense and also to cultivate a deeper strengthening of oneself internally. Personally, I was taught, I was very fortunate when I was in school many years ago to meet uh, a Chinese young man from Hong Kong who grew up in the States who was taught uh, a style called Wing Chun by his father. And this was passed on from father to son, from father to son, which is how they usually do it in China and in the Chinese way. And he saw me training very hard at my judo, a Japanese form of martial art. And he said, "Garth, would you like to learn?" Because we used to study together. We were studying accounting at the time. And he said, "Would you like to learn some Chinese martial arts?" And I said, "Sure." And I felt so privileged that he passed on his Wing Chun Kung Fu to me. So Wing Chun is what I practice,
I like
along
Wing
with
Chun.
yeah, along with my other martial arts skills.
I think that's also the same type of kung fu in uh, Ip Man. Is that right?
Correct. Correct. So if you've been watching any Ip Man movies with Donnie Yen, yeah,
Hmm.
he is practicing Wing Chun. Yeah.
Yeah. Did he
Mm.
also apply that in the latest movie? The uh, what's that with Keanu Reeves? I forgot.
I haven't seen the most recent one, so I have to go and take a look at that.
The
You
John
know?
Wick 3. Yeah, Donnie was there.
Oh
Right.
really? I didn't look at that, but I promise I will look at it for next time we speak.
Yeah.
Is that the most popular form of Kung Fu, Wing Chun?
No, it's not the most
Mm.
popular. But because of the hard work of Yip Man and his students, it has become, more popular. In fact, before Wing Chun came onto the scene, there were lots of other martial arts
Mm-hmm.
uh, made popular by the Shaolin monks and other different monks, fighting monks that
Mm-hmm.
trained in the temples throughout China.
That
So,
sounds great. But is that
the-
so? If you had the choice, or Gath, is Wing
yes,
Chun your first choice, or would you? Is there's other forms of kung fu that attracts you?
many other forms of kung fu which attract me. Because I understand what the main branches of kung fu are all about. Um, I am not unhappy that I learned Wing Chun. I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Kung Fu generally can be divided into two main areas, two main types. One type is called hard style, and the other type is called soft style. The hard style uh, was mainly practiced in northern China. The
Mm-hmm.
people there
Mm-hmm.
were very tall. The Chinese there are not like the people you're accustomed to seeing in Hong Kong, short. You know, they're tall, and they passed on their Chinese kung fu skills to the people whom you see in Korea now, because most of their fighting skills dealt with kicking. Since they
Mm-hmm.
were tall, they had long legs and strong legs, and so they, their fighting consisted of the hard style of punching and kicking and smashing things with their strong
Mm-hmm.
arms and strong legs. The people in the south practiced what's called soft style kung fu. They were shorter. They didn't have the same strength as the northern giants. And so they had to resort to a different type of kung fu, which used the strength of the opponent, something like the way judo and aikido use the strength of the opponent. And so soft style kung fu was created in southern China. And an
Mm-hmm.
example of that is the crane style kung fu from which the Wing Chun was developed.
Mm-hmm.
So Wing Chun is a soft style, southern style kung fu.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Very
it's
interesting, Sir Kat.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
much to say.
it would depend on their body type, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. There's a style of kung fu for almost every body type and for every attribute. For someone who has strong arms, you could use a certain, the hard style might be better for someone who has strong legs, for someone who's tall, of course, the northern style, someone who's short, like myself, the southern style. So, and then you've got mixtures. You got to, Bruce Lee says you got to find what is good for you and use that to develop your own tailor-made type of kung fu that can fit you because it must be a form of true self-expression.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
wonderful, sir. That interesting to say that kung fu is your own style of self-expression. You have mentioned a while
Yeah.
ago about kung fu is has two internals, like in two kinds. It's also for your external, which is the
Yes.
defense, and the internal, which is your own style of expression, right? So,
That's
can you? Why do you say that kung fu has this spiritual warriorship?
well, it's because of the actual nature of kung fu and the focus. The focus of kung fu is not only physical, it's much more than that. And if you look at some of the feats that are performed by people who master the art of kung fu, you'll know that they look like superhuman people. They say, "Oh my gosh, this is not normal stuff." They've got superhuman strength. Where are they getting this strength from? And so, the strength is available to everyone. It's not something that is unusual in the sense of its source, but it is unusual in the sense of its applicability because not everyone wants to take the time to go through the process to develop that skill. You see, um, in some like Paui mentioned earlier, the kung fu can have the meaning of attainment of things through hard work. So one of the meanings of kung fu is attaining great skill through hard work, and that's because the kung fu skill is one of the things that makes kung fu special is not the end result, but the process. Anyone who joins a kung fu or martial arts school will go through that process of training that will, at the end of which, you'll come out to be a better formed and stronger person, you know?
Mhm.
So that's essentially it.
Yes, so trusting the process is actually a very spiritual spiritual
Yes,
thing practice.
yes. If I were to get into the explanation of what makes it more internal, uh, a lot of the way I explain martial arts is from a spiritual point of view, from actually a religious point of view, because I created my own school called God's Christian Kung Fu Academy. And I did that because I saw the similarities between the spirituality of the Chinese approach and the spirituality behind the Christian approach to uh, attaining salvation. So they're the same because in order for you to attain beautiful and wonderful things physically in the martial arts, you have to sort of deny yourself a lot of things. You have to put your body and your mind through a lot of arduous, hard work. And this follows very much in line with the Christian teaching of um, the lusts of the flesh versus the lusts of the spirit. If you've watched as many kung fu movies as I have, you will see that the parallel is uncanny because you have people, for example, in a kung fu movie, students who are training under a master, and he has a big fight coming up, and the master will tell him, "You have to stay away from women and alcohol." And I'm
Yes.
thinking, what does this have to do with kung fu? But there is a definite parallel because the desires of the flesh will weaken the desires of the spirit. What's the connection? What
Mm-hmm.
spirit are they talking about? They're talking about the universal life force spirit, which is called in Chinese qi.
Mm-hmm.
Qi is the underlying basis for everything in the Chinese world, practically, and certainly for health and medicine. Now, if you study Kung Fu, you will realize that health and medicine go hand in hand with the practicing and development of Qi because your life force, which comes from God, requires you to be pure, and purity requires a lot of work. you know, Physical purity, of course, um, requires you to eat right, sleep right, and get proper information into your mind. But there's also a mental purity. So you've got to know how to think good thoughts. You've got to train yourself to stay away from negative things and to stop negative things getting inside your mind. And of course, all these things serve the spiritual. So if you maintain a good body, maintain a clean mind, you will develop a strong spirit, what the Chinese call Shen. So you develop a strong Shen, you'll develop strong Qi and strong, powerful energy that you could use for physical things and mental things.
Wow.
So there's a direct connection, you know?
There is, Sir Gath, you've mentioned about coming into yourself, being at peace. So there's kind of practice in meditation that's being done while doing kung fu or during while you are in kung fu. So other benefits from of going into meditation and having that discipline, what are the outside benefits, inner and external benefits of Kung Fu, sir?
So many. Again,
Mm-hmm.
there are parallels with our Christian belief because we're talking about inner an inner existence of a force which is not our force but is a force that gives us life.
Mhm.
The chi force in kung fu is the force that gives you life. If you don't have chi, patay na. You're dead.
Mhm.
Okay? So you have to cultivate this force, this chi, in order for you to become more lively, more healthy, and so on. And how do you do that? The best way to cultivate, the life force or to get closer to God in Christian terms is to either pray or meditate. Not too many other ways. You can't get close to God on the internet. You can't go and buy him in the store. You can't, mail order God. It's a personal journey that every person has to take on by simply doing what is given to us freely. Take your time, sit down and focus your mind on whomever you believe to be the creator of this world and the person who has given you the ability to move and talk and walk and wake up every morning. That life force is your chi. And how do you develop that? By praying to God and by listening to Him in meditation, silent meditation.
I see. So in China, we they call it qi, but in Japan they call it ki. But it's the same thing.
Correct, correct. One and the same thing. So you'll find that in Japanese martial arts, which I've also studied, uh, in fact, my highest ranking is in Jiu-Jitsu, which is a Japanese martial art. And in the Japanese martial arts of Judo and Jiu-Jitsu, they believe in ki, in employing ki in every single move. And they use the breath to try and activate the ki so that as you perform a punch or a kick, or even if you just sit quietly on the mat, you can use your breath and your ki, develop your universal force. All the time, you know, we're um, connecting to God in a way that makes God seem as though He is inside of us. Because most of the time, people see God as an external entity, someone who lives in the clouds, in the sky, in another universe, maybe. But the beautiful thing about the Chinese approach and Japanese approach is that they see God as an entity who lives within. And so it forces you to look inside yourself. Now, when you look inside yourself, you start to self examine automatically. You self examine and you start to think, you start to ask questions like, who am I? Am I a good person? And then you start to examine your life. Did I do a good thing today? Did I do a bad thing when I spoke to that person? Am I always angry? Am I, and it goes on and on and on. And you learn about who you really are and then manage your emotions and your, you know, different mental processes that go on inside of you, which ordinarily people don't pay attention. Is that clear?
Yeah. That
I
actually
was
makes
just
sense to
fascinated,
us.
sir.
It's a kind of a
Uh-huh.
deep topic, I know, but
Yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
questions. are deep. So we have to, and martial arts, real martial arts, it's not just about punching and kicking. Real martial arts is like this. It's very deep. In one of my affirmations for one of my for God's Christian Kung Fu Academy, the fourth affirmation says, "We engage in physical battle, acknowledging that our opponent is not the enemy, is not the enemy. Our greatest challenge is a spiritual one. Our greatest
Mhm.
obstacles are our own thoughts, actions, and habits. Our greatest challenge is to overcome ourselves." That's part of it, but that's the main gist. So if you see that by that affirmation, what we're doing is we're turning people's minds inward. They're not
Mhm.
looking outward to try and defeat an external opponent. The person standing in front of you is not, it's not your enemy. Your goal
Mhm.
is to surpass yourself. To be better
Yes.
today than you were yesterday. Doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're punching or kicking or whatever. Whatever you did yesterday, today must be done better than what you did yesterday. And the beautiful thing about, of course, the martial arts principles is that they can be applied to anything. So you can be better
Mhm.
today at whatever your job is. If your job is making meat, cutting meat as a butcher, then you must be better today at it than you were yesterday. If you're an accountant, you should try to be a better accountant today than you were yesterday. And so you apply these principles to your life to become a better internal person. It gets you closer to God. God is your co pilot through life. He is the chi that gives you life, but He's also the co pilot that guides you. So as you develop your chi, you learn to see God as a guide, your spiritual guide. And I always ask my students this question: if you realize that God, the Holy Spirit, your chi, was living inside of you and was your co-pilot through life, would you tell God where to go, or would you ask God where to go? Hmm.
I would ask.
You
Mm.
should ask. You should ask. So we, as members of the God's Christian Kung Fu Academy, even the people in China, they understand this. And so they enter into the practice of Qigong with a certain humility that says, "Guide
Mhm.
me, show me which way to go."
Mhm.
And this humility washes off onto their interactions with the people around them. You'll never find a real kung fu master in China who is haughty and proud and saying, "Oh, I know everything. I'm all powerful." That's not the way. It's not the way. It's not the way of the Tao. Eh? So we need to cultivate that, and we'll begin to see the direct parallels between following Christ as the way and following the Tao the way. You know, no difference really. And uh, getting to be in touch with the power of your own chi. Any
I
good questions?
I that's a that was a very moving set of affirmations and
Yeah.
spiritual processing. Sir, yeah, since you mentioned that your the culture of or the spiritual lessons of Christianity, you're merging it with Kung Fu. Is
Yes.
there a specific person in like a Christian role model that inspired you to do this?
Believe it or not, my more role models are not Christian. I they because many of the Christian, even the pastors or priests, uh, have been raised in an environment where their minds are not as open to what I'm preaching as people
Yes.
say in the Eastern world might be.
Mm-hmm.
The very fact that
I
God,
agree.
the, the, the concept of God as someone who is inside of you rather than outside, that creates problems from the start.
Mhm, mhm,
And people can get used to it if they, if they read the scripture properly and if they meditate upon it. The fact that, well, let me give you some examples of some of the people I consider to be leaders in this, who have w- shown me the power, for example, of the Holy Spirit. Just like some people in the West have been able to you develop a closeness to God that allows them to heal people by laying on of hands and so on. In the same way, people in the East have been able to do the same thing. One particular person is a Chinese Buddhist kung fu master. His name is Lama Dundrup Dorji, and he he spends his life going around teaching people about Buddhism. Of course, not his his merging is with Buddhism, but still, his concept of going inside and learning how to examine oneself from the inside, this is a beautiful approach. Um, and I like what he said, and so I took down his words and studied videos on him from YouTube and so on. And he says that one of the things that has enabled him to grow was the focusing in Buddhism. There's something called the Heart Sutra, the
mhm.
opening of the Heart Sutra. And he says focusing on this, on the opening of the heart, is what has been able to allow him to elevate himself to such a high level. This is not in contradiction to the teachings of Christ, because as you know, everything that the Lord talks about in the ways to get to heaven is about opening the heart, opening the heart. You know, in his beatitudes he says what? Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. It's the pure in heart that see God, you know? So, and it's important for us to make these connections. It will help to break down barriers also between religions, because instead of seeing ourselves as different and on separate roads, we can soon learn to see ourselves as walking along parallel roads to a similar goal, a similar destiny, which of course is always reuniting with God.
That was so beautiful, Sifuka. Uh, I know I could listen to you the whole day, as I've mentioned. But
Me too.
yes, but you've mentioned about your school in the British Virgin Islands. Is there
Yes.
any requirements um, for any student that you will accept to be in your Kung Fu class?
Yes. One, you need to be human. Yeah, that's it. So, you know, when the Lord walked on the face of the earth, he wanted to collect people to follow him too. And the only requirement there was that you're human, that you have a heart, blood running through your veins. Not even that you're good. That's not the requirement. The process will make you good. So come and learn Kung Fu and you'll become a better person. But if you think yourself as bad, Still, join my kung fu class and you'll learn to discover things about yourself. No requirements necessary. You don't need a law degree, you don't need special skills. If you're overweight, um if you've got Down syndrome, it doesn't matter. If you're a human being, you are welcome.
Wow. Currently
So,
teacher Sir Gath, I've seen, if you have seen his post, Paui, he was
mhm.
teaching his summer stint in the school in the Batangas has just ended
Yes.
this morning, as
Yes,
you've
that's right.
mentioned a while ago, Sir
Congos.
Gath.
Wow,
Mhm. Yeah.
congratulations to your student.
Thank you. 10 days of pure bliss working with the children. And they were not all easy children. Some of them they had issues. Some of the children had issues. By the end of the course,
Mhm.
all loving, beautiful, disciplined children who had learned skills and not just physical skills either. They had learned other skills. 10 days is all I had with them.
Sir, do you
And
accept older than your children like me and Paui going to sign up to your school?
of course, in my school in the British Virgin Islands, of course I had to have separate classes because we don't want the little children being kicked by the adults. But we had an adult class and we had a children's class. And once we kept them separate, keeping separate is also important for different age groups because I can speak to different age groups in different ways, which will motivate. The teacher's job is to open the mind. So the way you open the mind of a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old is different from the way you open the mind of an adult.
Yeah.
So you know, so I, but still, uh, everybody was everybody's welcome, just treated in a different way. The information is pretty much the same. It's just the delivery changed, but
Yes,
everybody got the same information. Yeah.
yes.
Paui, you have a
That-
question?
yes, I was thinking, if I become a student, Sargat, what
Yes.
are the things that a student would um, look forward to? Like, what could there be their goal? Can they become a Sifu in the future, or is there like a certain level of mastery in your kung fu?
Yeah. One of the things I like about the martial arts is that there is no limit. I know you've heard of the black belts, the famous
Mm-hmm.
black belts.
Yes, black belts,
But
brown belts.
yeah, black belt is just like the beginning, really. Yeah. Now you've made it through 9 months of in your mommy's tummy. Now you're welcome to start crawling now. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to start crawling, and then maybe if you keep it up, you might be able to walk and then run, and then whatever. So, but the limit, there is none. There
That's
is none. Yeah, there is no limit. But to give people something to work for, of course we wave the black belt as the carrot in front of them. So they say, listen, you go for this first, and then afterwards we'll see if you're still interested where we can take you. All the time while they're going for the black belt, we're showing them how they can work internally to create a relationship with God. This process never ends in your life. Creating a relationship with God, it never ends. If you learn how to pray properly the first time, you will continue to pray. If you learn how to meditate properly the first time, you will continue to meditate. Whether you continue to do karate and kung fu after you've got your black belt or not, you will continue to grow. And this world will continue to become a better place because You have learned to master yourself internally. You've
Mm-hmm.
learned to control your anger. You've learned to control your greed. You've learned to control your lust. You know, so many things. Your false pride. You developed a good pride, but you've crushed the false pride. You stop coveting things that your neighbors have, and you learn to work hard for what you think you want, and then cherish that. So, the good values are developed in the early stages. And then, if you want to become a master kung fu, the sky is the limit. To become a Sifu master is really a prestigious event, an auspicious office. You know, many years ago, the Kung Fu Sifus were the people who were well versed in Qi. They knew all about Qi and the meridians. So, therefore, they were the doctors of the village because they studied the traditional Chinese medicine, TCM. So, they knew all about the herbs that you would take and you would need to take to cure any illness. The Sifu actually had a medicine chest, drawers full of dried weeds. You could go to him to get your ginseng and whatever you need. And of course, that coupled with acupuncture treatment, because he understood the meridians, he was a walking pharmacy. You see that? So the Sifu was the doctor of the village. And of course, you can imagine all the other things that went along with that office. People came to him with problems that I'm sure were outside of the scope of medicine, or regular medicine. I have a problem with my husband. My son is this, my daughter is that. How can you help me? And so, to become a proper Sifu, traditionally, you would have to know all these things. You'd have to be an expert in acupuncture. You'd have to know about the herbal medicine, the herbs that you can use. And in addition, you might also be a master at metaphysics. You might have also learned how to control your chi so that you can move objects and, you know, other things besides. So there is a whole host of things that could be developed there. Today is different because people are not so spiritual, people are not so metaphysical, they don't understand the power of chi. Uh, so so many things have changed. But you can still have find a good sifu who understands these things and tries to guide people towards the inner journey of them discovering themselves and discovering who God is inside.
Wow. Sir,
Yeah,
can you be my sifu? Because there are a lot. There's one question here, like from
sure.
Key Australia. So when will there be a kung fu class for us for adults? Do you hold classes in here in the Philippines, aside from the one
At
that you had?
Well, my dear lovely wife, whom you mentioned earlier, has been trying her best to get me my own kung fu school that I can call my own. Um, Recently, she's helped me to get a job at Canosa, which is just close by here. And they are very impressed with the summer school that I gave to their children and have offered me another position in the school for the coming year. Unfortunately, it's still a sort of a no one is call it temporary, but just a sort of a makeshift position. So I'm not a full-fledged teacher. You know what I mean? But I have a feeling that I might be able to use their grounds and their um you know, their equipment and so on to try and set up something that might be able to be used for public use. Uh, but before I perjure myself, I must say that the teacher was explicit to me. The headmistress whom I spoke with said, "This is only for students at the moment, so I can only offer what my kung fu for the students that attend Canosa. But I'll see, God works in mysterious ways. Maybe there's a place close by or associated with Canosa that I will be able to use to allow people from outside to also experience the kung fu training. You know.
Yes, sir. We're looking
Certainly, if
forward.
there's anything, yeah, if there's anything, I'll let you know, Darlene, for
Yes,
sure.
please,
And
sir.
you too, Paui.
Yes, kindly post, Vincent, kindly post where we can, the people who's listening who would like to reach out. Gath Hewlett has a Facebook page, so you can look for Gath Hewlett. If you have an update on where he was going to teach, maybe if you're going to group ourselves, right? And then
Yeah,
there'll be a studio here in Manila or in Quezon City. We can invite you, sir, to teach us. And also,
please, please.
yes, at 0995-057-1772. So you may call, contact his number, or look for his Facebook page, Gath Hewlett.
Yes,
It's really an honor, sir, so much. If you have any more questions,
my
Paui,
pleasure.
I yeah, we can talk to Sir Gas the whole day.
And
Yeah.
I would love to just answer your questions because I have many answers waiting. Also on Messenger, you can use Garth Hewlett and send me a message there. So
Yeah.
I'll be happy to answer you.
Yeah, right. All right. So we had a very what you call it, insightful discussion about Kung Fu with Ifu Gat,
Great.
and for us to ponder about the spiritual messages and spiritual lessons,
Please.
we will have a
Yeah.
break.
We will be back shortly. This is Feng Shui Magic, only here on Big Media Network.
Big Media is all about life's journey
Yung mga yon, mga bata pa sila dati nung nakakasama ko sila. So ngayon, sikat na sila. Kaya,
in digital, entertainment,
Maraming salamat po na nabigyan nyo kami ng opportunity.
information, story, inspiration, and experiences. Whenever, wherever you want, welcome. Join us as we push the boundaries of possibility here with Big Media.
Video conferencing has never been crucial to your business than ever before. Whether it's work from home or remote work collaboration, productive team meetings are crucial to your business success. So whether it's for personal use or from small to medium to large conference meeting rooms, Logitech has the right solution right for you. With our partner Evolution's track record of responsive service, you can be assured of reliable and effective video collaboration all the time. Evolution, supporting your business as always. To serve you sooner, email us at support@involution.com.ph.
Imagine a call center service where everything works just like it should. Introducing Voiso, hosted call center solution. Agile call center suite. Advanced real-time dashboard to track agent behavior. Instantly switch between call stages with event-based navigation. The right international telecom experience your business needs. Do more with your call.
Evolution, supporting your business as always. Now back to Feng Shui Magic, only here on Big Media Network.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Spiritual Warriorship with Sir Gath or Sifu Gath Hewlett. I'd like
Yes.
to acknowledge some of our audience right now. Justin says, "You have to be human. That's the only requirement." I love that. Thank you, Sifu Gath. They
You're
appreciate you, Sir
welcome.
Gath. So they're saying hello to Nanette and to Christian and to again to Vicky Australia. Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
Nanit. Hello, Vicky. Thanks for
Yes.
joining in.
And and before we close your talk about spiritual worship, Sir Gath, do you have any last words you may share?
Maybe just kind of a recap over everything because the concept of warriorship, spiritual warriorship, is not the same thing as physical warriorship. Physically, when you're fighting physically, you usually need some kind of an opponent, something to push against, fight against, kick against. But the beautiful thing about spiritual warriorship is that you don't need anybody at all. Life presents you with all of the obstacles you need. And this will happen until the day that you leave the earth and go back to God. And so, our only job while we're here is to try and maintain a pure state so that we can prepare ourselves to return to the point from whence we came. We came from God, we're going to go back to God. It's a circle. Some people have a small circle, so their time is short. Some people have a bigger circle, so their time is longer. But the end point and the starting point are the same. What happens in that space is what we're talking about with spiritual warriorship. Because you came as a baby in a pure, beautiful light. You were just amazing, even physically. By the time we're going back, we ought to be a pure, beautiful light. Can we make that happen? It sometimes seems impossible because their world tries to corrupt our minds, corrupt our bodies, and so it becomes hard trying to maintain this purity. And that's why I spoke earlier about the the, the lusts or the desires of the flesh and the desires of the chi, of the spirit. So there's going to be a constant fighting, and we have to learn how to be warriors in the spirit. You know, I always give my students the scenario of someone coming up and picking a fight with them, and they are experts in martial arts, and the person who's picking a fight is not an expert, but very bad temper, and they come up to you and they're throwing punches and kicks and striking you, and your fight must be to stop yourself from striking back because you know that with your years and years of training, one strike will hurt this person. Their fight is with you, your fight is with yourself. This is the spiritual fight, the battle that we go through as people who try to grow in Kung Fu. Join me and you can do the same.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sir Gath. Paui,
Very
No.
beautiful.
Thank you.
so profound, Sir Gath, Sifu Gath.
Yeah.
We really look forward to be in your class. For those who would like, again, can we show it again, Sir Vincent? Yes, please. Sifu Gath has a
Yes.
Facebook page, Gath
Yes.
Hewlett. You can reach out in his contact number 0995 057 1772. And
Yes.
heartfelt gratitude, Sir Gas, for being here, for allowing us
Yes.
to.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much. Have a
And
great day po, Sir.
if it takes too long for my school to start, let's just arrange a meeting.
Yes.
When I first came to Philippines, my wife used to arrange talks for me and demonstrations for me in Manila. So we can just arrange a meeting, whoever wants to meet, and you find a place and we'll just go and for one weekend or whatever, just go and I share with you physical skills, some mental skills, some spiritual skills.
It's a pleasure, Sir Gas. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, Sir Gat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ay,
Oh,
goodbye.
wow. Sobra ang lalim. Ganun palang
Oo,
spiritual
ang
warriorship, Paui. What's your
mm.
take?
Ayun nga, parang ang galing ng concept because the spirituality that we're usually doing is more on our mental level, right? But for him, kay Sir Gat, he's extending the spirituality to the physical level. Kaya siguro he is so drawn into Kung Fu and the spirituality of it. Ang
True.
gaganda ng mga sinabi niya, like, have a pure state so we can return to the point of origin. Parang talagang mapapansin mo na corrupt rin kasi talaga tayo through the ways of the world. Like, we're eating processed foods, we're being programmed with so many things from the Western only, na all of these knowledge naman exist before. And mapapansin mo
Mm-mm.
that they don't need high-tech
Mm-mm.
technology before. Their way of life is very healthy, very spiritual, 'di ba? So, kanina na-amaze ako nung sinabi na yung mga masters dati are also knowledgeable in acupuncture and meridians. Kaya pala
Yes.
nakikita ko sa movie yung may ganung-ganung move tapos immobilized ka na, hindi ka na makakagalaw.
Mm. And they
It's
know the
kind of like,
meridians kasi. Oo.
'di ba?
Mm-mm.
Ayun. So many good things that we learned tonight and I could go on for the 20 minutes.
Yeah. Ang dami niyang words of wisdom na binanggit. And for me naman, yung Kung Fu pala is a journey pa rin pala of self-discovery, ano.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi going back to yourself is finding what's your inner peace and your deeper sense of purpose is what he mentioned. That's why Kung Fu masters are disciplined, mindful, and they're very, yung training nila, ganun din ka, ano, to cultivate self-mastery, respect, and humility lalo na.
Mm-hmm.
So, di ba, going back to God, and who else could have given us this skills, this mastery, kundi yun. And then, the oneness nga eh. Tama ka doon sa sinabi mo, the spirit and the self, the body, may, dun,
Mm-hmm.
minimit dun sa Kung Fu.
Mm. And ang gusto ko talaga yung sinabi niya na you don't need an enemy to work on ourselves. You know, yung our real opponent is ourselves.
Yeah.
'Di ba? So,
Mm-mm.
every time that we're triggered or we are tempted to react from situations from other people's actions. Hindi natin sila titingnan as the enemy, but we'll look within why we are triggered. Why do we feel like exploding or reacting violently? So
Mm-hmm.
the real opponent is ourselves because there's something within us that was triggered, that is already there. So pag nagte-trigger naman, hindi naman siya nagke-create eh, 'di ba? Kumbaga, trigger as in talaga kakalabitin nga lang. Ibig sabihin,
Yeah.
those issues were already within us. And that's why we work on ourselves so we won't react violently, 'di ba?
Yes. So
Kaya
that's the inner meaning of Kung Fu and other martial arts. I believe it's just parang na commercialized lang into a self-defense. But really, self-defense comes inside. Yun nga. It should be,
totoo.
the strength should comes Should come from the inside.
Mm.
Yun.
But if you tried karate, Darlene, ganun pa
Mm.
rin sila. Very, um, hindi nila advance yung students sa learning if
Okay.
the internal is really chaotic, is destructive.
Yes.
So,
Uh,
ganyan talaga mga martial arts. Bihira lang yung martial arts na, ano, talagang purpose is to harm.
to
No?
harm. Kaya maganda talagang i-start din talaga yung mga bata at that age, no? Kasi they're, parang they can focus on, they will learn what really is their strength, and ganyan. Yun, the discipline will can start as early as what age nang tinuturuan ni Sir Gas. I think grade school yung mga tinuturuan niya. Yeah. So, it's just one of the things that we can do, di ba? We can do to cultivate inner peace, harmony, discipline. So, that's it. So, yeah, we hope to. So, that's what we've learned from tonight.
Yeah, dami.
Wow. Grabe, ang dami.
Another great
Nakakatuwa.
night of learning.
Yes, of course. So, after that,
Let's go
siguro we
to
can
everyday,
go na to. Yeah.
yes,
Thank you
our
so much
everyday
for
feng shui.
yay.
So this is our tip sharing segment on how we can live lives of joy, abundance, and spiritual growth. For this week's tip, it is practicing gratitude. Ayan. So you can see that to practice gratitude, that increases the chi or the life energy that flows through your home. And another one would be developing an attitude of gratitude is linked to a happier way of life. And research shows people who practice gratitude consistently benefit from stronger immune system and lower blood pressure, higher levels of positive emotions, like the serotonin, dopamine, and so meron pa tatlo eh. But they rhyme. So more joy, optimism, and happiness, acting with more generosity and compassion, feeling less lonely and isolated. So how do we do this? One, start a gratitude journal. Hmm? With three things that you are grateful for every day. So
And
ikaw,
that
Dar.
I do
Anong,
that every morning.
hmm?
I practice gratitude affirmation every morning. I thank God, God for being alive, for this beautiful body, Max beautiful body,
Oh my
beautiful
God.
soul, my life, yun. That should start
Uh,
your day.
That's good. Actually, kahit sa meetings eh, like I
Mm.
used to attend a leadership training sa OCCI. And before we start the meeting, sasabihin namin, what are your wins for today? So it doesn't matter how big or small it is. Basta you were able to express the gratitude. So maganda rin siya if we're going to apply it every day in your journal.
Yes,
Kasi keeps you optimistic, di ba? Keeps you
yes.
happy na, I accomplished something, or wow, this is something good about me or about other things, 'di ba? Other people or on the situation, 'di ba? Pag
It's
may
easy grade.
problem na
Yeah,
dumating, 'di ba, parang
yeah.
ah
Yan
at
pala
least, 'di
yon.
ba, may maganda pa rin nangyari, or at least I learned something, or at least na-clarify yung situation, 'di ba?
True. So it's good to start your day with gratitude and end it with gratitude of what has taken place the whole day, because there's a lot of good things that have happened in the lessons in between. Yun.
So number two, thank yourself. Look into the mirror and say, I thank you for being you. Kailangan
Yes.
gano'n ka solemn, gano'n ka may conviction yung pagkasabi mo, huwag mo siya sasabihin na parang napilitan ka sabihin, or for the sake of nasabi mo siya. But
With all emotions, ano, I
with
thank
all
you for being you. Ang ganda-ganda mo. Ganyan.
parang kulang na lang halikan mo yung nasa salamin, yung gano'n.
Yes, why
Picture
not? Hug, hug, hug. Self-hug. Ganyan. Thank
yes.
yourself. Thank yourself.
Do you do that? I also do that, Dar. As in,
Mm, you
ang
hug
laki na
yourself.
even on the time when I feel insecure, like when I'm feeling bad and just low vibration talaga. Everything's down. I look at myself in the mirror, parang, yes, i-express ko yung galit for a while. And then, magte-thank you uli ako. Diba? Even if I did something, I did a mistake, I did something wrong. Sige, harapin ko. I'll tell it to the mirror, why did you do this? Why did that? But then, by the end of the conversation, say, thank you for being you. At least
Yeah.
naging authentic ka, at least naging ano, 'di ba? So many things to be thankful for. Hindi ka mauubusan.
True. I agree.
Even at your lowest point. So the third one, arigato money. So every time when you receive money and you receive it with the ito lang added tip ko lang sa left hand or non-dominant hand. Yes. When you receive money sa non-dominant hand mo, arigato kagad. Thank
Arigato.
you. Thank you kagad. Huwag kang magpapatagal ng 10 seconds. Dapat paglapag pa lang, thank you. And so every time you receive it, just say thank you.
Another one, yung nabitin ka. Even though
Oh,
if you receive it, you say arigato or thank you, pati pagbigay mo, you say thank you for that money that you're given.
oh.
Because it's an energy pa rin. Money is an energy. You receive
Mm-mm.
it and you give it both ways, you say arigato or thank you.
Oh, galing.
It's, di ba? Oh, that's a
Yes,
nice
kasi when we
one.
give money, syempre we ask for a service, di
Mm-hmm.
ba? Like, so you
Yeah,
also think for the service. And kaya,
that's
when
so
we give money,
nice.
say thank you rin kagad.
Thank you. Thank you, Paui. And now we go to our
Limiting beliefs.
Feng
Ay, sorry.
Shui magic. Ay, ayan. Ayan, na timing ako ha. Feng Shui magic.
Alright.
Go,
So, Feng
Paui.
Shui Magic is the portion where we heal our limiting beliefs and affirm through affirmations or declarations of our statement of prosperity. From Dr. Leon Masters, limitations in life arise from the illusion of having a selfhood that is separate from the unlimited presence of God within you. Sabi rin yan ni Teacher Gat kanina. The truth
Oh,
is that you are one with God and thus unlimited. Through meditation and visualization, you can establish and maintain contact with that unlimited part of yourself.
that's nice. So the first limiting belief that we have is I don't have enough experience to share my talents. Hmm.
Mm,
May, this could be a limiting belief if you have not really audited all those talents that you have, because I believe the world is your stage. The world is stage in which you can show your talents, even just merely smiling and giving your best. Yun naman ang importante, di ba? So
mm,
sharing your talents is you open up yourself to how you would like to share it. Yun yun sa
mm. And it's we have the tendency to compare kasi to those who were ahead of
mm,
us. But always remember that you there is no mistake, there is no coincidence. So when the opportunity calls for you to show your talent, it means that there is something unique from you that you could give, no? Maybe coming from your upbringing or from environment or from the all the things that made you who you are. Merong mga unique factors doon na can't be seen from other people's talents, though even if they're similar.
yeah. Thank you, Pawi. And the next um, limiting belief is others are better than me. Yes, others are
Mm,
better than you, and others are not better than you. Sabi nga sa Desiderata, there always be someone who's better than you, and there's always someone who's not the same as you, di ba? Mas konti. So do not compare.
do
Everyone is
not
special.
compare.
Or
I used to be guilty sa ganitong limiting beliefs. Kaya, oh my gosh, timing talaga to. There were times kasi na, um, di ba, I'm practicing Reiki and there are so many Reiki masters ahead of me. But then, parang people would ask na, "Hoy, ikaw na magsalita or can you explain this?" So parang, I had that expectations na, wait, aren't you supposed to explain it better? Pero yung pala, ayun nga yung sasabi ko kanina, the situation calls for my unique talent na, okay, I was regularly talking to other people and I could be articulate in that moment, diba? So, it's, you shouldn't compare and you shouldn't say that you don't have enough experience para lang to share what you can help. Hindi naman, 'di ba, lahat ng help, hindi naman kailangan ng requirement na experience.
True.
When you help, you
Al-
help.
alam mo, align din yan dun sa talk ko the other day. Yung celebrating your uniqueness, di ba? Before you celebrate, you must acknowledge that you are unique and that you are special. So, yun yun. So, how do we remove or do some affirmation or heal these limiting beliefs? So, if you, everyone, in your most comfortable position, I would like to invite you to do a healing on these limiting beliefs. Put your hands in your heart and repeat after me. I am filled with positive energy at all levels of my body, mind, and soul, declaring my oneness with God's Spirit and my mind, one with Christ God's consciousness. I am filled with positive energy at all levels of my body, mind, and soul, declaring my oneness with God's Spirit and my mind, one with Christ God's consciousness. I release all anxiety, doubt, worry, fear to the power within me, and I am filled with love, peace, and joy. I am in charge of my destiny. I am the builder of my life. I release all anxiety, doubt, fear, worry to the power within me, and I am filled with love, peace, and joy. I am in charge of my destiny. I am the builder of my life. I release all anxiety, doubt, worry, and fear to the power within me, and I am filled with love, peace, and joy. I am in charge of my destiny. I am the builder of my life. I am one, whole, and complete. I am one, whole, and complete. I am one, whole, and complete. And so be it. Thank you, Paui. Thank you so much. So, for our final words, and always remember, our logo is Feng Shui
Feng
is
for all.
for all. So, we now go to our AOB. First AOB will be for Archangel Raphael Healing House. If you are feeling stressed, you have tension, you have anxiety that block your minds from creating, manifesting, open up to more abundance and growth by releasing energetic blocks through Reiki energy healing for a calmer mind, body, and spirit. Each healing session includes Reiki healing with crystals, aura cleansing, your chakra balancing, and intuitive guidance and stress release techniques. Each Reiki session will surely calm your mind, release stress, anxiety, and body tension. So why don't you start your healing through the Archangel Raphael Healing House? Message us in this Facebook page or at 0936 429 8217. Next is Sky Oracle, Angel Oracle. Unlock the mysteries of life by gazing at the sky. Find peace in its calming blue, confidence in its golden rays, and inspiration from sunsets, moon, and stars. Book a session for soul solutions reading, Reiki, angel light healing, chakra scanning, guided painting meditation with Sky Angel Oracle, social media, or via email at skyangeloracle@gmail.com, and start your healing journey under the watchful heavenly sky. Next is Logitech. In Logitech, I guess we can all agree that video collaboration is more than a trend. It has become an important part of every business operation. Whether you are doing online meeting, one-on-one, or meeting your entire team and customers, everyone's voices and ideas needs to be heard and seen. With Logitech's video collaboration solution, you know you are getting the very best for your business.
Next, we have BFab Wellness, teaching others through healing and self-love how to create a life of freedom, balance, and abundance. Book your session on Theta Healing, Reiki Healing, Akashic Reading, or join one of our enrichment programs at www.bfabwellness.com or at our Instagram, bfabwellness. Shui. Cosmic Space Feng Shui Consultation and Space Enhancement. The balance of Cosmic Trinity is the key to success in life. Cosmic Space Consultations brings the balance of your lifestyle and space, whether it is a home or workspace, to affect success in life. We empower you and your space. Book your appointment for Cosmic Space Feng Shui Consultation and Space Enhancement at www.cosmichealer.net or contact at 0977 706 0661. For holistic health and life wellness with Reverend Isa, holistic living is the key to joy and abundant life. With holistic health and life wellness, book your appointment for your spiritual growth, holistic healing through complementary and integrative treatment, holistic health coaching, stress and weight management, smoking cessation, energy healing for special cases and needs, and the end of life healing. Contact Reverend Isa through Reiki Wellness at reikiwellnessmanila.com or www.cosmichealer.net or at 0977 060661.
Thank you, Paui. That was a wonderful episode that we have now. We were going to give our blessing. May everyone be happy.
May everyone be well.
May everyone be healthy.
May everyone be prosperous.
So let us all do the action. Spirit
Spirit plus
plus
action
action is
is
equal
equal
to
to prosperity.
prosperity. So goodbye, everyone. We'll see you on next
Goodbye,
Friday.
everyone. Thank you.
Laging tandaan, sa ikauunlad ng bayan, Feng Shui ang kailangan. This has been your Feng Shui Magic on Big Media Network with your anchor, Feng Shui and Reiki Master, Reverend Lillian Hewlett, Dragon Angel Guide, Darleen Turda, Life Designer, Ayen Barrientos, and Sky Oracle Paui Zamora every Fridays at 6 p.m. only here on Big Media Network.